Hey kings and queens, welcome to another episode of Morning Tea. Today's tea is jasmine green tea by the Mountain Witch Lady, and it's iced in my giant red solo cup. So I'm going back to drinking green tea in the morning because I'm on that healthy tip again. So I have my warm water with lemon in it first, the very first thing I ingest. And then I eat my breakfast along with my iced green tea. What I'm gonna talk about today, first of all, about the Confederate flag. I think I spoke a little bit about it last week, but here's the deal. I'm fine with anyone flying their Confederate flag because that way I know exactly what they stand for up front. So if you're somebody who loves to fly your Confederate flag, please, by all means, fly it. I do not, however, believe that it should be on top of a government building because it is a rebel's flag. It is the flag of the seceding South, who is trying to keep slavery as the cornerstone of their economy. Speaking of the South, let's go to Bobby Jindal. Remember how I said 2 weeks ago that I was excited about hearing him run for president? Now I'm not excited anymore because he's one of the types of Republicans that I just can't be behind. Like, I don't know why Republican values is synonymous with like conservative Christian values. Like, that's so weird, especially when you think of where the Republican Party came from. It's just so interesting how it flip-flopped. I'm just not with it. He's like, oh, I'm still going to fight for Christian values. The Supreme Court got it wrong. And I'm just kind of like, why is it that there is like this fear mongering or these fear tactics that Fox News puts out that makes Christians believe that somehow because gay people have the civil rights of heterosexual people that they're now going to go to churches demanding that pastors and preachers marry them. That's not going to happen. And even if it does, like even if there are these a-hole people who walk into a church and it's like, I'm gay and you have to marry me now, the pastor has the right to say no because it's against their religion to marry that coupling. They have a right to say no. It won't be considered discrimination. And it's like, just because that's your religious views, because your religious views are bigoted and your religious views are discriminatory, because you don't think that these people and their love is the same or valued. And the whole idea is that you want to protect marriage. Marriage is not a Christian thing. Like, you don't have to be religious, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, whatever, in order to get married. Atheists get married every single day. Getting married is a government thing. It is a contract between two people saying that we want to merge and start a business together. It's a business merger. It's not about being in church. Like, it's not about that at all. Okay, moving on to the churches that are being burned in the South. So far they haven't exactly said they're hate crimes, but they have been predominantly Black churches. And so they're looking into it to see if it's even the same string of people, and it's going to take a while to sort of investigate that. They finally caught the 2 prisoners who escaped from jail, and that story is so crazy. So I don't know if you guys have been following it, but this is kind of the Cliff Notes version of it. Basically, 2 convicts escaped, and they're like crazily dangerous, especially one who like just killed a bunch of people. It makes me feel like he's like a thug from the mobsters, like how many people he's killed and hurt. Anyway, so they had help from a woman who I believe was a cleaning lady in the prison, and she was going to help. She was going to be their getaway car. And in exchange, they were going to kill her husband. So at the last minute, she decided that she wasn't going to help them, that she wasn't going to meet them at the rendezvous point and drive them to Mexico as they had planned. So that's why these criminals seemed like they were just running around the New York State countryside, because they were supposed to be jumping a car and like go to Mexico. So they were on the lam for 3 weeks, which is a pretty long time, especially because everyone was looking for them. One of them got shot, I think, last week, and the other one got caught yesterday or the day before. That's a crazy mess. And so Obama had a really good week, you guys, and there may be some of you who do not like Obama and think that he's done nothing, but I'm personally thinking of this president's legacy and socially what he's done, because that's, to me, what's more important as far as the president goes. I'm more interested in social issues, like financial issues and international issues. I'm not so interested in, and I know I should be, and I try to keep abreast, but sorry, that's not what I care about. So I'm going to only talk about social things. President Obama has done a lot. He implemented this free healthcare, and hopefully as the years go by, it gets stronger and better and more efficient. But that's a huge first step too. It is always going to be called Obamacare. Like, Like, that's crazy to me that he, not only did he finally get this thing implemented, but now his name is on it. Also making big movements in civil rights with this gay rights decision that went through the Supreme Court. He took the country through a massive demographic shift and moved on important immigration laws. He's also really focused on clean energy. You know, despite the fact that there are many, many people out there who wanted to see him leave no footprint at all and wanted to see him fail and do nothing so that they can complain about everything. I mean, they already complain about everything he does now and literally blame him for everything. But I'm just so really happy. And again, I know I said this in the last video, I'm just really happy for them to get out of the White House too. And I'm like, you survived. Speaking of Obama, let's talk about him singing Amazing Grace at Emmanuel AME. I mean, I finally think that all the criticism and the naysayers who talked about him so badly because they felt like he wasn't black enough or he didn't deal with black issues. For any of you out there who thought that Obama should have dealt with more black issues, you have no idea how politics and this country needs to run. You have no tactical or strategy like ability at all. There is no way that man could have gotten to the office and became a president for black people. Like, first of all, black people need to take in consideration and do shit for themselves. That's the first thing. Yes, we have white supremacy. Yes, we are oppressed. But, you know, there are those of us who don't let the oppression stop us from succeeding. And having a black president up there to what? What was he going to do? What was he supposed to do for Black America that was going to significantly change anything? The only thing he could do was be a shining, strong example. And that's exactly what he was. Yes, we are victims, but we don't have to stew in victimhood. Teach our children that education is important and is valuable and not just yell at them. I've always felt that he's connected with the black community as much as he could. I've never felt that he was in there Uncle Tomming or in there pretending like things weren't happening. He just couldn't politically say the things that I'm sure he wanted to say because he actually does care about the black community because he is involved in the black community. True. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them below. If you have any topics you want me to talk about, leave them below as well, okay? Bye, guys.